Hey y'all, good to be with you. That was just some fun with the MIDI foot pedals, BAE, and some improvisation there. I watched this video that Beato did with Pat Metheny. It's an interview. It's about a little less than 2 hours long. And really worth it. If you're sitting around and want to see something that will help your musicianship, watch Pat Metheny and Beato, and fascinating interview. Pat Metheny is one of those guys that's just touched by the hand of God. He was playing since he was 14 in amazing jazz bands and started his own band, Pat Metheny Group. And it's the coolest music ever if you like guitar playing as the centerpiece. But he is more than just the guitarist. He's the genius behind everything that's written and the performance. He's the prime mover of all this stuff. And a fascinating guy. If you've ever seen, or you should get, the movie called Orchestrion, this guy Pat Metheny, just to show you how much of a genius this guy is, he somehow devised a way to build these self-playing drums and instruments, like little glockenspiels that will play when given a MIDI input, like physically hit metal keys. So it's absolutely fascinating. He designed these stringed instruments that will like self-fret, a little robotic thing that shortens the string length in time with what he's playing. It's the coolest thing anyone's ever done, in my opinion. And he's the guy behind it. I think the coolest thing on there doesn't even have a name. It's improvisation number 2. And it's unbelievable. It's mind-blowing. He's sitting there with this big jazz guitar. I'm pretty sure he plays an Ibanez through all that. Big archtop Ibanez that somehow is synced up with some kind of MIDI signal that plays all these instruments like bongo drums and xylophones, and it's the craziest thing ever. Orchestrion. I'll put a link in the bottom. But you have to see it. And then once you watch that, then when you watch this interview where Beato sits there and talks with Metheny for 2 hours nearly, your mind will be completely blown. Some of the things that he talks about are about melody. And he talks about that for a good while. And his concept of what melody means and how he hears it. And it has a lot to do with the chord changes that are happening underneath. And he does a little exercise, which I haven't tried yet, where he just does a little bass line and a corresponding melody note to go with it. You got to see this video. It's unbelievable. So anybody who's interested in playing guitar should watch that. That was great. And what else? I watched a video on soldering techniques. I'm thinking about trying to take the plunge and change my own pickups. I've got a Strat that's got the same pickups it came with, which are, good enough, but they're not blowing my mind, or I wouldn't be thinking about changing them. The pickups in this one are the lace sensor pickups, which were part of the Strat Ultras that came out in the early 90s. And the thing that's cool about lace sensor pickups in a Strat is that they sound great, especially when overdriven. And Bob Mould played them forever, and I think still plays them. Eric Clapton played them when they first came out, and for a long time after that. And David Gilmour, I think, played lace sensor pickups at some point. Maybe even when they filmed that incredible Pink Floyd concert film in the early 90s. So lace sensor pickups. These are blue, silver, red. So I love the way these sound. So I've been on the hunt for another set of pickups for my other Strat. You know, part of being a good musician should be to be able to modify your own instruments, right? I haven't done it. I've made my Franken drum, which is around here somewhere, where I bought some really old drum and then tried to put my own lugs on it and put it all together myself. I recommend everybody's first drum should be on just some piece of, you know, not a valuable shell, let's put it that way. Anyway, so yes, how to elevate your musicianship. Watch the Pat Metheny interview. Even if you don't like jazz, have no interest in jazz. You know, they talk a lot about his upbringing in jazz and his first bands and the stuff he was playing. And they don't talk much about the Pat Metheny group stuff, which is what I really like the best, because it's rockin'. But he's the same guy who did it all, and the orchestrion stuff is insane, and they don't talk about that at all in this video. This video is 2 hours long. It could easily be another 2 hours, and it would be just as fascinating. I will put a link so that everybody can find it. But don't worry if you don't recognize the jazz guys he's talking about at the beginning. Instead, just like think of it like the guru on the mountain is going to tell you what guitar playing is all about. And you go at it like that, you're going to learn something. This is a wonderful piece of music history that's been created by Rick, who I think I watched a Rick thing where he deconstructed Limelight or another Rush song. I was like, yeah, cool, you know. But I never paid much attention to the stuff beyond that. But when I watched this video, I was absolutely floored. I was transfixed. You should watch it. Yeah. Beyond that, school's starting up again, so that's exciting time, and I hope everybody's doing well out there and staying safe and dry. And watch the video. I'll put a link down there. All right, we'll see you.